Map number 2 underway between ECSTATIC and HONORIS. ECSTATIC dominant on their own map pick. A little bit of a stunner considering what happened yesterday, but this time Ancient goes their way, and now another Inferno game. We just saw one of the most absurd comebacks of all time when ECSTATIC took on Forza. You think we could get as wild a game here, Alan?
Could do. It's the same pistol, actually, from the CD side. They got called out last time by a lack of aggression on B. Still only 2 A players, despite the man advantage, and they're both dead already. Man to the lesser and no kit, no nades. He's starting to do a lot of work on this retake.
Spicy one. Oh, they get the audio cue as well. Look at this. Lurk out from Boiler. Sammy gave them so much space that he expects them to come through apps. And it's a good read. They are going to. With all this time having gone through. Okay, Sammy gets nothing. They're aware. That's insane levels of awareness coming through. The dualie's doing so much damage. Sobol's position given up. It's the pit. It's Graveyard. They need to get these kills, and it's all into Taz. He's found the first. He's found the first. The altitude battle now. He's trying to buy time, knowing that he's got the clock in his favor, and Dragon knows he's lost the round. So he wants an honorable duel, and Taz will give him nothing.
Yeah, time would have ended it anyway, and the BM to close it out. Yeah. See the risks of that pistol. They show the B setup. HONORIS, despite losing a man, go straight out onto A with that information. Some monster shots. If one of those A players gets a kill, it makes it a lot easier there in the retake. It was a great try from ECSTATIC, but they're always playing from a deficit after that bomb was planted. Second round force. 4 smokes in play for the TD side. Keep an eye on those. They're trying to contest Banana. Manx actually wants a duel here. Gets a bit on to Ryko, but it's not the headshot he wanted. Pretty bold from ECSTATIC to lean at 4B. Limited information. I guess they feel like they have to on this sort of investment. Bomb is yet to commit for HONORIS. Bit of mid-pressure just in terms of the nadage. But given the way the players are posturing, I think it will be ending on B. Oh no, Mike. 4 players. 4 in defense. Double new box. Salazar taking first contact. This is a dream scenario for ECSTATIC.
Couldn't go better. 35 seconds as well means that there's really no time for the bailout. There's no information elsewhere. Here comes the hit. Salazar gonna miss the first opportunity, but now that they've seen the scout, do they respond? Not really. Oh, still shots going wide. Kraken's connecting. We're on board with the scout, but now the damage is coming out from the pistol. Salazar, he needs to get his headshot. There it is. He's getting dialed in now. But there's still another player backside. They never expected this. Oh, the tag on Ryko. No health. One more deep shot to the knees, and that's enough. The 4-man stack works out. Disaster for HONORIS.
I don't think you can blame HONORIS. They did their due diligence. They probed A. They saw one player on A. They felt, well, it can't be a B stack. Surely not. And they commit right into it. ECSTATIC, just a moment of foresight, brilliance. And despite Salazar missing a couple of shots, it didn't matter. There were so many in defense. And HONORIS in a million years didn't expect it to be double new box after seeing a player emo and Coffins as well. Fast Banana, Tech 9 armor, 2 fast kills. Salazar over here has to do so much work. These players are tagged up, but somehow HONORIS have wrangled a man advantage. These HGs could win it if they're well placed. Oh.
Nearly did it.
Lucky boy. Lucky boy.
Nearly found the first. There's another one to line up. Come on, Cabbi. Let fly. Oh, he's found the healthy player. Molotov on. That forces the next fight. New box. He's got it. He's got it. Goodbye, Sammy. Oh, that's how you use utility to retake a site.
That's composure as well, not to just start swinging or panicking because you've lost players to Tech 9s. It was a bold call from HONORIS. Top spawns into Banana. Couple flashes. It nets them a good chunk of frags. They might debate a rebuy here. Not out of the question. Taz is brought up. Oh, they're going for it. Aggressive call. Map down HONORIS. All the eggs are in this basket. And that basket is a force buy. No way.
Taz, goodbye. He's going to be annoyed about that one.
That's a hands off the keyboard moment. You don't even know. You gobsmacked. How have I just died to that?
Just the lineup. Mans knows his lines. Does Cabbi. Had the protractor out. They're holding here. See if any aggression comes their way. With a man advantage already found, there's really no reason for it. Manx swings the madman, because of course he does. Then he gets some utility down. They could use it. That's a quick dink. Reiko is knocked low, but it's pressure on a Salazar, and the rotation has to come through, and they just want to keep up the pace. They know there probably wasn't anyone close at hand, but that's a great collect. The Molotov down. Now Salazar has a safe place to play from, and oh my goodness. Oh, he has heated up. Had that nice 3K to close down Ancient. But lunAtic still survives here for a moment.
No.
Oh my goodness, lunAtic. He's done it back the other way. 30 seconds still to play with. A rifle now found, an upgrade available and taken. And he's going looking for the fight. He's going looking for the duel. Queenix on the other side. Queenix not overextending. Knife out. What was that from lunAtic? A total misread of the situation. Thought he was getting flanked, I suppose. But he just gives up everything. What was looking like a terrific clutch falls to naught.
And he does all the hard work. If they'd planted Mike, I think they'd buy again, given the economic damage, but not now, not with this money. ECSTATIC survived by the skin of their teeth. That was so close. The buy alone shows it. 2 FAM assets and MP9 into this one. They're having to full invest just in case HONORIS retain the streak of buys, but finally they seed. lunAtic as a Tech 9 armor, but outside of that, it's not so much. Maybe it's enough. Kragan's low as well. Salazar, you need to hot-foot it over because your brother is very low on B.
Sobol might have a little bit of positioning here. A little bit of something. They've got the soft A site. I mean, there's a possibility here. There's a world. No armor means that it's going to be tough. And no utility means that these sightlines from Pit should be lethal. But they've got the right read. They've got the wrap. Kraken's come in to shift to defend this, but he is the low HP player. One bullet will take him out. There he's going to find it. Kraken trying to avoid giving this up. They're taking the short player. Kraken run down, but Cabbi with the mow down and the bomb confirm. Reiko, it's not really worth saving this FAMAS, is it? So he's going to press forward. 35 seconds to try and do some further damage, but Queenix will allow none. I have some disappointing news for you, Alan.
Enlighten me.
We cannot get as impressive a comeback for ECSTATIC as we did in the first Inferno game today, rather.
No. Well, we could for HONORIS.
We could for HONORIS.
We could HONORIS.
Flip it. That would be spicy if we flipped the script. But remember, last time it was ECSTATIC doing it on their T side that brought it back. So
yeah,
that would be a full script flip.
Yeah, maybe it's now it's the Monster CT sides that have come out to play. The good, well, not the good news. I guess the crumb of comfort here for HONORIS is they've done a lot to keep this CT money in check. It is not banked up, not as much as it should be, off the back of a reset and 4 in a row. So there's opportunities here. There's opportunities to force early ecos to wrangle some economic control. Freebie start from ECSTATIC. They haven't thrown a lot of utility just yet, so presence is yet to be seen, and HONORIS are walking right into the trap of all these players. There's so many in defense on Banana. Molik is going to force these players wide. Manx wants to peek first. There's a player behind the half wall. It's so awkward for the CT side, and Kragan is a dead man. He is a dead man. Oh my god, they just didn't know players were out and in Banana.
They didn't at all. I mean, they had the perfect setup to actually survive that hit if they just let it come through on the half wall peak. They want to take the initiative, and they have no idea someone's that close. Disaster for HONORIS in this one. I think that's, I mean, that's certainly going to be a blessing that HONORIS will take straight to the bank. They needed a round. They needed something after the disappointment that was Ancient. This is a great way to get your T side rolling. Hunting, yes, it would be nice here. But having a full buy in the tank, that might be nicer. So they'll be content to leave these guns alone. They want their own economy healthy.
A rough one for HONORIS. There was no mid take. There was no mid nades. Just wonder. I can't entirely blame them for getting a bit angsty. Could have been an apps pop, I guess, or a mid explode. And those A players were pretty exposed. But maybe there was a better way to clear it. Maybe there was a way to take it that didn't leave them so exposed to a player behind the half wall. Food for thought. As of course, given the lack of loss bonus, HONORIS have to invest. 3 rifles are out for now. Kragan just about gets a FAMAS on the board, but Utility's a little bit worse for wear. Limited options as Cabbi lines up this early molly to prevent players getting up on the stairs into apps. Oh my lord. Thanks. Came so close to death there.
A little bit of noise here, top car. Reiko's got all this control, all the space. Don't have a lot of information to operate off of, right? It's a very passive hold from HONORIS. They're not giving much away. It's atypical for what we've come to expect from HONORIS.
They've only got 1 nade set on B to stall out. And Kragan's
Kragan
actually
off?
coming. Is there nades in spawn, or are we just full risking
he's
an A
just leaving.
stack?
They're leaving the CZ. They're going to full gamble this. Let's see if Manx can dissuade them from coming towards this side of the map with just a Molotov. Well, he better go down. Oh, it's a smoke instead. They're going through a full execute. He knows it. He knows it. Molotov will slow them down, tick it a little bit. And they're out. It's an ambitious swing. Not a bad idea, to be honest, but Reiko adjusts in time. The CZ's a little bit wide. Bomb going to go down, and this will be a full 4-man save for HONORIS.
Would have been nice if Kragan could drop another set onto Manx there, because Manx is saving his nades because he knows he's only got 1 set. And with a minute left in the round, he doesn't want to spew them early and leave B absolutely wide open later on. It's a tricky one. They start the round so passive that your choices are lean on heavily onto one bomb site or take a risky aggression when you don't know where players are. So I don't mind the call to stack A, but clearly here it wasn't the right one. Silver lining is a full save. They can buy behind these rifles, and they should be. Drop something onto Manx, get plenty of nades out. Cabbi can drop an MP9 or something and get a molly. And the buy isn't going to look too bad. But a quick discussion about how they're going to approach different areas on the map. We've seen a few variations of Banana so far. And I guess that's what they're discussing at the moment. Do you want to go back into a take? Do you want to stay passive with extra sets? Food for thought for the HONORIS lads. Sobol yet to get off the mark. Don't want to point any fingers, but he was probably the only shining light at times on Ancient. He's been a monster so far during this tournament.
Yeah.
Key component, of course, to get them into this grand final. He might be the MVP so far. He's been that good. I'd like to see a little bit more.
Likely, yeah. They're trying for a boost up. Oh, somehow Kragan turns that into 2. An awkward missed boost. Crazy exchange, and somehow they come out on top. Salazar dancing around the smoke will keep the advantage in favor of HONORIS, and this is disastrous. Sobol and Sammy have to try and make something out of nothing here. Elbow spotted. Sammy giving up on the angle, and that leaves just Sobol. 3 to find a dire situation here. Let's see if he can crack this goose egg in the most impressive of ways. Got Shiro stickers on the gun, and right now he might need to pray to that spirit. He'll bring this one through. Got the gap tagged up, dropped low, exterminated. Cabbi doesn't even need to see.
That was an eco, by the way, from ECSTATIC. I know they had 4 rifles saved over, but they chose not to invest. They were playing to full buy in this round. So they got money in the bank. AK's picked up. They even recovered an AWP for Salazar. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And ECSTATIC. It's been a back and forth half so far here on the CT side, but we saw earlier. They get onto that T side in a decent position. We know Manx can call a good T side. We know they've got a deep playbook. This already feels pretty good for them. If they get anything past winning the half, I think they'll be monstrously happy going to the second half.
Draco's taking that Molotov like crazy. They have to know he's here, but they don't. They don't seem to have the awareness. Salazar still going to connect. They want to threaten him. That
Good nade.
Oh, nade. Ouch. Sammy has no more interest in this side of the map. Wants to get the heck out of Dodge. And at some point, I mean, Salazar still got a full belt of utility, so they could actually retake some of this control towards Banana and maybe float the third person over. They're not doing it just yet. HONORIS is not wasting time. Those smokes now thrown. When do they start to rotate? When do they start to shift? Path open. These pit player needs to be good. Queenix trying to be exactly that. Cabbi up in the graveyard. This is an ambitious setup. To kill Sobol here in balcony to make the rest feel comfortable because now lunAtic's working his way through. Oh, good read from Cabbi. Good awareness. Player on site, though. Taz steps up when his team needs him most. And now this bomb will go down. Nothing that can be done about that for ECSTATIC, and money being what it is. How much of a look do they want to give this? The nade into pit will kill Sammy. If it comes through, Salazar was trying to line that up, and he gets dropped.
Time to get out, Kragan. Time to get out. Yeah, they commit 2-2 on the sides. 1 grave, 1 pit. Long is the most exposed area. They only actually sent 1 out there, did HONORIS, but it's kind of enough. It's enough to make it really uncomfortable for those side players. And Queenix, unfortunately, just couldn't get anything done. Looks like Kraken is going to keep this orb going.
It's on. Taz is looking.
Ooh!
Almost found. Half a second more, and that gets real interesting. What kind of an investment do we see? Do we see them?
I think they're going to fall by. I think they fall by.
Yeah, they've got a lot.
A pause might be handy here just to sort out the investment because it'll be a bit janky on a couple players. There we go. Cabbi on the Deagle, just the MP9 on Manx. And I still feel like ECSTATIC are yet to really win on Banana. There's been a lot of even trades. Or a lot of rounds where they've sunk utility in. Ragas coming through on the flashbang. Manx call off guard. Awkward exchange and he hits the deck. That is not the start they wanted here on Banana.
Crack it down to 2 HP isn't the worst thing in the world, though. Problem is they're out of these HEs now. They've used them. Burnt a lot of what little util they have. HONORIS now have a majority of the clock to play with. A man advantage. Pressure on. A lot of util taken out of that CT side.
This feels like a better way to play, though. With 4 players, just leave Salazar B. He's got a full nade set. He can just stay out on angle when he gets pushed off. Use those nades. There are still 3 on A. Nice to bolster that defense. Clearly, by the minimap, we can see HONORIS yet to make a decision on where this round is ending. Players reeling off mid now after showing some presence. App smoke down. It's going to be B for HONORIS. And with all this A pressure, it's going to be hard for Kraken to read it, but...
No, they're coming back.
Ooh, they're coming back, yeah.
Time's going to start to be an issue. That kill is going to take the fangs out of this threat, and it's going to push Kraken back to floating in towards A, because Salazar hasn't seen anything else behind it, and he's still got the util to stall out if it did. So here comes the hit. Time is a huge issue here. There's the first spot. 15 seconds. They have to get onto the bomb, and there's a player here. There's a player here. Oh, it's disastrous. The bomb is down. This round has gone by the wayside. Sammy is going to try and back away and just save this AWP with time expiring on the clock. Is slipping off, and HONORIS, they're not going to be able to tie this up here.
Did HONORIS overanalyze the situation? I
Analysis
don't actually know what made them
paralysis.
turn around. Because I don't think they met massive resistance.
No, they didn't see Salazar yet. He hadn't thrown anything.
Yeah, when the call was clearly to go B with those two players coming off mid and Bomb starting to go into banana. But lunAtic made a potentially a rash decision to turn around. With that time remaining, maybe they were scared of going into a smoke on B with that much little time left. Can't think of many other explanations. And Manx finally wins an opening duel here on banana.
Ooh.
We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen any of those on gun rounds in this half.
Oh, he's gotten a lot of damage. Not so much been able to walk away from them, though. So that's the way it's supposed to work out. And now you've got Salazar posted. To lose a duel with Samey.
What was that about Salazar being posted?
Deleted. He's posted onto the wall. Pressure on him Manx in a big way. Surprised the rotation hasn't come through from Kraken because, well, Manx is playing this sneaky. Sneaky beaky like.
He's so good if Kraken had a flashbang, but he doesn't. There are mollies on this T side. We'll see if they're invested. But Manx needs to go nuclear right now to save this bomb site.
There's a new box molly. Flashbang to get Kraken out. There's your flash. Manx is the one who gets the kill, though. Kraken, the distraction, the flash, so good. And Manx continuing to be lethal here from the pillar. He'll finish it off as well. 4 for him. He doesn't need any site partners. He barely needs assistance. Just let some distraction, some focus go towards Kraken, and Manx will strike. See what happens, Manx, when you don't die in the first 15 seconds of the round.
I know it's not, you know, 1-on-4, a massive afterplant win, a crazy round, but I genuinely think that's one of the best plays of the tournament. He just saved the bomb site himself. Getting off that smoke, you know, it's in an ideal world, Kraken has the nade sets, and he lets the player that's hiding dark be the initiator of all the contact. But if he thinks on his feet, he gets off the smoke, he brings Kraken into play, takes all the pressure off himself, and still gets a 4K out of the round. Playing behind the pillar, he was pinned in. Wow. What a hold. And that is ruinous to the HONORIS economy. Look at this. 3 players on 1-9. Even they're not going to have full belts utility without a bomb plant going to the following. And I don't think that's likely, given we've got 1 P250 in the smoke out in play. This is starting to look very rosy for the Danish squad.
It is. It is. I mean, they have to be feeling it. Thinking, wait, we don't even have to run 10 rounds in a row in the second half? What is that like? Sobol still hasn't cracked on the board. Bizarre, to be quite frank. I mean, so here's the thing as well. He's been the A-lurk a lot of the time. Not been having a lot of success in the set. Pressure on. Trying to run him down. Salazar caught out of position. Overwhelmed. Reiko gets that kill. Oh, and that's so chunky from Cabbi. He's going to clean this up. Sobol, the last survivor. Just let him crack the goose egg. Just let him get one. But he's dueling at range, and that's never going to be the answer with a Glock.
That was a 300 damage nade, at least. That was a juicy one. That's what we stick around for. Salazar needs to get himself some head armor. Because there is a Galileo in the mix. They got plenty of cash to boot.
Who needs head armor if you just click first?
Yeah, that is a philosophy. I'll give you that. Well, not necessarily the right one, but it is.
He's betting on himself. Full faith. Did Queenix have a DC reconnect, or is he really 4-2? Has he just not done anything in half of these rounds? And if so, how?
He's the pit player. A lot of rounds have ended B.
Yeah,
I think that is accurate. I don't think you get the reconnect thing unless it's ESEA.
That's wild. He's actually just. Yeah, no, just checked it. It is verified. He just hasn't had to do anything in half the rounds. He did the saving. Or he's actually playing pretty well. Just over towards A. Joys of Inferno.
Joys of your site partner killing everybody first.
Also that. He's super cool with that. Cabbi killing everybody.
Yeah.
Queenix will kick up and chill.
They end every round. Cabby's got 4. High five. Go team.
Oh, here we go. Utility coming in. It's a B take. Salazar caught on geometry. Fumbling the nades. That's very awkward for Salazar. Not hitting his shots now. He's rattled. But he's zeroing in now, trying to dance around the new box. Pressure on, utility there. They dug him out, and this bomb's going down. Cabbi's going to come in with the damning HE. If he can find Taz, that gets spicy in the numbers. But pressure's coming back the other way. Where's the HE? Where's the HE? Pick your spot. Kraken's found a kill. HE didn't find home. Where is Taz? Up on top of the box.
I think he might be on top of top of dark.
Yeah, he is. He is. Cabbi under pressure. He knows it, but it's Kraken who starts things off, taking out Taz. They've got their positions now. They know the information, but it's just Queenix, and this time he's not up to the task. A fifth round at least for HONORIS. They're climbing back into this game.
That was so awkward on B. HONORIS just creep up and then just pop straight off the rip as soon as they get the control. So awkward. Salazar jumping into the wall. His teammate can only at best get onto the little ledge by first oranges. It was far from ideal. And that injection of pace grants HONORIS a round, a much needed round as they're trying to salvage something out of this T side. Early mid nades out as Cabbi goes for a quick check off the back of a flashbang. Players loading their way into apartments. And I feel an early boiler pop coming soon.
Good. Let's boost up. Damaging. Actually back the other way. Cabbi unable to zero in any kills, and well, his body's left ragdolled on the arch. Let's pull all the rotations off as well. Kraken has the stall out utility, but he's relatively alone.
HONORIS should know to speed up, hearing the mid clear. They heard the flash. The smoke makes it tricky. Manx is a full set of nades as well.
He's just reinforcing and then leaving. Kraken with the re-smoke. Gonna dare them to come through.
Is he intentionally leaving a bit of a gap here?
I think so. He wants to spot ankles. Here comes the exec. Molotov will stall this out further. Still no rotate in. And here's the second round. He's got so many nades. This is actually insane. The flashbang out, but he catches his own. Does he get a kill here? Yes, he does. He's doing such an effort to stall this, but still no one rotated. ECSTATIC, what is happening? They give him no support, and despite that Herculean attempt to stall it out, HONORIS will have the site. Now we'll get the save.
Kind of fool's gold, that boost, isn't it? On the corner of brackets.
Yeah.
Because
it's really good at catching it if they just leave one guy to hold the position. But if there's multiple, you get spammed down so easily.
Yeah, and even the guy on the bottom. I don't think you can boost it without being exposed on the bottom guy. So even he normally takes a couple bullets for the trouble. And HONORIS, despite having some rough rounds in this half, despite getting clocked on a couple, and of course Manx's absolutely heroic hold on B earlier on, are making pretty good on this T side. It's not been a bad score overall. They've had so many tribulations thus far. But they're staying in the game. And onwards we go. The buy is pretty good, honestly, for the CD side. Nades is nice. Not on Queenix, but outside of that, it's looking fairly good. Deep mid-smoke to dissuade any A aggression from HONORIS, as we're only playing 2 on the ECSTATIC side. And Ryko is feeling aggressive. Is he going to swing on some flashes? Mollies are down. Gets the fight. Salazar, time to run. And the nade finishes it off. Beautiful exchange.
It was honestly the furthest limits of that HE, but he only had 1 health. Only 1. They want to retake some control, but this is just putting them into the blender. Never mind, the blender's apparently named Manx. And he's out of there. Even gets the up for his trouble. Moving towards mid, HONORIS have some decisions to make. They should know they've got a player isolated, but they might think that a rotation's come through, so they want to try and exert some influence on brackets. It's going to set them on a collision course with Cabbi and Queenix. I'm actually coming in to retake this control, to retake the space. Player spotted boiler. And a kill exchange.
Oh, it's
bomb dropped. 50 seconds. They're going to foot race him towards site, but he's got the angle. Does he have the shot? Oh, thought he had the positioning there, but Sobol realizes it in time. Bomb's going to go down, and now HONORIS pole position to take this last round of the half. What can Manx do? Creeping up short. Molotov to his name. At least deny information. Give him some comfort that it's not coming in towards pit, but Mini it certainly is. He's got a kit, so this Molotov won't end the round. He's gonna take it dang close. He's gotta play like his hair's on fire now. Spotted the first, the second as well, but Sobol slides into the pit at the perfect time, and we got a 1-round lead to head to the half.
Cause I felt this world without you. I feel safer when you're here. It's been a couple months now, feels like time's been moving slow. And I can't tell where my head's at, so can you let me know? Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. I'm out of focus, I need a spark. I can't keep living in the dark. Nothing feels right, my thoughts are unclear. I just wish that you were here. Cause when I'm alone, I get lost in my head. And I try to think back to the things that you said. But living without you is taking a toll. Feel like I might lose control. When I'm down and can't push through, I know you're the one I can turn to. You make me feel like someone new. Cause I'm never sober when I'm with you. Cause I'm never sober when I'm with you. When I'm down and can't push through, I know you're the one I can turn to. You make me feel like someone new. Cause I'm never sober when I'm with you. I couldn't imagine where we would be now. I wish we could somehow live in a moment in time where I was yours and you were mine. Cause when I'm alone, I get lost in my head. And I try to think back to the things that you said. But living without you is taking a toll. Feel like I might lose control. When I'm down and can't push through.
Here we go. 1 round separates these teams, but the last time ECSTATIC played Inferno, they were down 13-2, and they ran it back. So don't underestimate this T side. 2 players in the apartment.
This is not the
There's gonna
setup.
be
This is
a
not the
clear
setup.
bomb plant. Uh-oh.
And we're playing retake.
Always
Okay.
nice to get things started well. Know where you stand. And look at this position for Manx. He gets 1. He gets 2. He's taken out, but he's done his work. Sobol starting out on a much better foot in this half. He's got to clear the pit presence, and that's going to be the real test of this round. Can they dig these players out of pit? P250 in is the real challenge in the hands of Salazar. That's the big gun of the round. Here comes the wrap on towards sight. Kraken's good for the first. The PT-50 strikes, and okay. A nice parting shot there to wrap things up. Give ECSTATIC the lead headed in.
First half, HONORIS picked up a clean pistol. But fell foul to the second round. ECSTATIC now to meet that test as HONORIS fully invest into this one. Khalil's in the mix. They're favoring utility. They could have got more AKs here, but they wanted full nade sets. That is a promising sign. Recognizing the importance of having this nadage to clear the close angles. It's an early banana take here. I really hope Queenix doesn't try and clear apps on his own, because that could be a bit scary. Not so much now that Sobol's backed out. And look at this, Mike. It is a mirror image round to the second round buy from ECSTATIC earlier. 4B stack.
Well, maybe HONORIS is saying, well, that worked out for them. Eventually. Maybe it'll work out for us. Eventually. Rotation is coming through here. And ECSTATIC have not been so quick to move behind this. Sobol up close. Gonna get one. Not the worst thing in the world. Sammy smoked off. No one in towards A, though. Means that this bomb's likely gonna go down. The question becomes, do HONORIS really want to try and rumble this in the retake?
No, I think you just save, don't you? Especially now that Sammy here has been tagged up a tad. Save these guns. Play a similar round again in the following. Bit lower on nades, but you still got a good chunk in terms of weaponry. And ECSTATIC keeping it fairly clean. Doing what their adversaries could not. They picked the right bomb site. It looked like they're going to swoop back into B for a second. But really, they were just lining up the wrong long wrap nades. ECSTATIC hit double digits. First map was Ancient. They got mauled yesterday on the T side. It was a different affair this time around. ECSTATIC cleaned up that first map in exuberant fashion. HONORIS could never get in the map. It was an absolute whitewash in the end. And they're looking in firm control as we get into the second half of Inferno.
Sammy scout round? What do you think, Alan?
It's not had the best series so far. We'd love to see it, but ECSTATIC on these T sides, I don't think they give you a lot of free opportunities.
No, they don't. Look at this mid push, though. lunAtic living up to the name. He's going to catch the palm. Salazar down for the count as well. Cabbi's now going to keep them contained, but lunAtic somehow takes a second out of that and even a shot on the Cabbi. All right. Numbers going to swing back in their favor as Sobol tries to get in on the fun, but that was still big impact for lunAtic. Very little to work with. They've split the defense. There's a CT towards either side. Just an SMG, so you'd imagine this is going to be tough to convert into any sort of round damage. But with Grega taking this information, got a bit of a cheeky spot. If Taz can manage to force the rotate back, Grega might be poised to capitalize. But that's a big ask without any utility. Without the gun. Taz just now working his way in towards coffins.
They can just full exec here. They got all the nades. There's no point taking any risk. U-Box Molly down. Taz gets into dark, and here comes that Molly to flush him wide. Space needs to be a tad better because Cabbi is on his own. Manx collects the other, and actually they're going to turn back. Well, it's a costly round in the end, but I guess ECSTATIC would take it.
I don't know if they're too fussed about it. I mean, plenty of money to reinvest here, right? Zero issue. They're even going to have the op up for Salazar early. I think there's maybe one Khalil still in the mix. No, not even. So no big tragedy there, but it does mean that they would like to stay a little healthy in this one.
See Salazar on the run boost and has no interest in the repeak. Repositions into apartments. Has some fake mid nades come out from ECSTATIC. Banana. Trying to be taken by HONORIS. They dump a lot of nades actually from these two B players, and it doesn't actually result in any control. Manx drops one smoke, pushes in.
There's no more
is
utility here
lunAtic
on
looking
B.
for an extra set? Oh, he can't find it.
He's got a smoke, I think. Ooh,
This is not a lot of util for a minute 10.
no.
And ECSTATIC will be calling to each other how many nades went down in the attempted banana take early on. If they can somehow wrangle this extra smoke out from lunAtic early, he becomes open for business.
ECSTATIC playing it slow, though.
Yeah, they never cleared apps actually. Samey's still on the angle. If they start pressuring mid or start thinking about A, HONORIS might react with an apartments push.
Should be the check. Queenix gives that one up for free. The op now in strong control. They need to win this fight. Taz won't be able to do so, but good damage, good information as well. And so now here's the read and react, and they're going to split in towards B.
17
Pressure
seconds.
on. They've got no time. They've got to run this. They've got to run this. They cannot afford to drop the bomb, and that's exactly what will happen. Just the blind spray from Reiko. They have not left themselves enough time for this, and so they're going to have to just try and save the guns. Good luck on that, Manx. Oh, boy. Kraken's not getting any money out of that one. Manx looking worse for the wear. That's a disaster for ECSTATIC.
Just too slow. Just too slow and kind of sloppy with the apartments. Because they never expected Samey to still be on that sort of angle, but they never did their due diligence, got them in to actually clear it. And they pay the price. They're going to force behind this with the saved AWP. Util is disastrous. You need a lot of nades to play out a default on Inferno. And they're going to take quite a few shortcuts, I suspect, throughout this round if they want anything left for a late execute.
Wary of this apartment setup now.
Yeah.
All that spam is just to make it uncomfortable if they were holding it again. The check shows that the op's not on the angle. Instead, Samey's locking down Arch. Pretty...
Wrap smoke in. Samey's not in mid, so he can't take any of these initial jewels. 2 smokes left. You want both of those for whatever execute you end with here. That call needs to come in soon. What's left on B? You've still got 1 smoke on lunAtic. He's clearly saving his for a one-way by the look of it. To the side of new box. And that's the call. It's going to be B. I think it's going to be a tough hold. I'm not a massive fan of this setup, Mike. I'm not sure how they're going to play off each other.
Is Reiko on the flower pot?
Yeah, he's boosted.
Okay. Smokestack down. Here it goes. Let's see if they clear. They do not. Just trying to get past it. He will get caught, though. And lunAtic now under major pressure. He's about to get flanked, and he's down for the count. Not a lot of time to spare, but this time, just enough to get the bomb planted. Spam kill makes this retake a lot more viable, but the control...
Sobol's on a different
Banana.
planet.
They're
Sobol's
just
still
saving.
pushing through T-spawn.
They're saving. In a 3-on-3, they're saving.
That's a call. That's a bold
Wow.
call.
Conservative. I guess the lack of utility? But...
Do you not think you at least stick around and hope for an over? You know, I get it if it goes sub 20 seconds, you haven't really got a chance. But
right off the rip.
to not even present yourself for a fight or get Samey on an angle and just let him post, hope someone peeks new box or whatever swings pool on towards CT. They never gave themselves a chance. They're gonna play the long game. lunAtic can buy, Sobol can drop one, so the buy is still good. But ECSTATIC creeping ever closer. You can see the way their setup was meant to work on B. I think lunAtic smokes out. He has that little one-way on the left side of new box, and he's going to try and crossfire with the play on the boost. but they could just never establish it. It's just way too chaotic, and it's, I don't know, it feels like one of those setups that, you know, in theory, that seems like a great idea. But when you get hit contact and there's flashes flying over, it's so hard to actually make that crossfire effective.
As those 2 huge kills down Banana. Aggression paying off here. Cabbi will take some damage back the other way, and he's section up the map.
Sobol's alone.
Of space gain.
Sobol's alone.
Sobol's in a lot of trouble. They're going to go through. Raiko wants to go through to help out his teammate, but the smoke is just too threatening. He doesn't know if it's being held. Indeed, Cabbi's aware that someone could eventually try and press this.
There's nobody library either, so he can actually cross all the way to site. Cabbi going in, doesn't clear Sobol. And now these players coming out of apartments, it's not in a good position because there's no nades for library. And Salazar, he could even save here, to be honest. And well, with this HP, maybe even that isn't a possibility.
Might be worth dying. See, we can't find one more. He's been flanked as well. Taz is working his way through. There was that moment, right? I think maybe the rest of ECSTATIC didn't quite believe how much control Cabbi had. Because there was a real moment where you have Sobol isolated on the site. You have the smokes up. You have the nades up for that arch side. That could have been devastating, and instead, they hesitate. And he who hesitates in this situation certainly lost.
Trying to think through the spot. Is Taz the A? Who's the A rotator for this team? Is it Taz? I'm just wondering if they had the B.
It's been lunAtic and Raiko, right?
As the B players.
As the B
yeah,
players,
right.
and then
it has been, and Taz got the B kills. They had all the info, Mike. They knew it was solo A.
yeah.
They actually knew it. The player that was really confusing to me was the one that was in apartments. And Cabbi was out wide long. So you can clearly, there's nobody balcony. You can see there's nobody balcony, which is, I guess, what you're most scared of. And he really needed his apartments player to be, you know, clearing angles at the same time so they can crossfire the site and have so many angles of attack. But that apartments player never really budged. Oh my god, look at this force buy. This is bold.
Yeah, to say the least. Ambitious. See if they can deliver on that ambition. This is the kind of round where HONORIS could really start to build up the bank for a CT side. I suppose in double eco territory, ECSTATIC would rather roll the dice once first before surrendering to the flow of cash. After all, money makes the world go round.
Here comes the short pop. Flashes over. Sobol under pressure.
Oh, these nades. Goodbye, Pit. Goodbye, Sobol. Taz, what do you got for us? Your teammates are all gone, Taz, and you're not going to do much more. The bomb's going down. Alan, this round could just be over. They've got the op. They're in towards Pit. They've got the post-plant positions. There's a molly, a smoke, a flash to try and get back through. And this is disaster for HONORIS. You finally thought you might have a lead. You might have an advantage. You might have a chance to grow back in.
I don't think they've got the money to go for this. I don't think this is wise. I don't think this is wise whatsoever. That might put them out of a buy in the following. What a call. What a call from Manx. That one's been up the sleeve, isn't it? We questioned the buy, and now with 2020 hindsight, we can see that they dropped onto lesser weaponry to get the right nades to pull that off. The HE, the mortar strike onto Pit. You actually really rarely see it work these days. But that was perfect. Absolutely perfect, and it rips the site wide open.
The real trick, I think, was just the full faith that it was going to work. Because they didn't throw the nades and then wait to see if they killed somebody. They threw the nades and they were on site.
Yeah, they do a front side smoke. And then I didn't see the flashes, but if they had any back default flashes, that would have been godlike. Yeah, it's by design you do that sort of thing. Take Pit out of the equation and just swarm. And that's a big win. That was a really lesser buy. Now they're up. Full rifles, AWP in play for Salazar. And some tough decisions to follow for HONORIS. Guessing a tech timeout. Given the length of this one.
Seems to be the way. Seems to be the way. A little bit of a delay. You know, maybe that round was so tilting someone broke their keyboard. Punched the monitor.
Probably the Pit player.
Flipped the desk.
all the pit player sees is he puts down his one way, and then the next thing he knows, he hears all these nades bouncing off the wall.
There's that split second when you hear the nades and you realize you're dead, or you just accept it, just give yourself up. Like it's a little bit. If you process that emotion correctly, Alan, I think that could be a very healing moment.
It's like
when
the
you just
Simpsons
realize-
"I'm in danger" theme, isn't it?
Yeah. Or it's just kind of like an acceptance that sometimes the universe is out of your control. Sometimes, no matter how good of a player you are, you're never going to get a chance to shoot.
That's the philosophy. Welcome to world of freelancing. Taz has spilled some water. Well, it sounds like a shorter break. I think we just go through this one. I don't think we'll be here too long. Plenty
Has
to
spilled
discuss.
water. I think he must have flipped the desk, knocked his water over. A little frustrated after that.
I don't
one.
think Taz was the pit player. I think he was
No,
on
he was the
site.
site player.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets two and gets killed.
Taz has actually played pretty well today. I'm not going to beat around the bush. He hasn't been in great form with this team, and he does play a lot of quite important positions.
Mhm.
And I think at times he quite clearly has been a hindrance. But off the gameplay today, I've really enjoyed seeing Taz play some good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see him warm back into the team, into competition. You're absolutely right. Where, I mean, this team has been the Taz project for a long time, and that has been a blessing and a curse to them, I think. But definitely been a key piece here. They need a little bit more of it. Need a bit more from everybody. You can't really point to anyone as an individual. The team
And as
effort.
much as like Sobol's got himself back in the game, we're not up to a star performance, which is what we need.
Yeah. Apartments control. Cabbi looks like he maybe wants a fight, and it's double port setup, so this is not a bad read. Ooh, there's the spot. There's the information. Oh, he knows the second player's there. But he's got at least a little info to read. Echo's isolated. Ah, they know he's here. He's dead to rights. He gets one. Whoa, that flashbang. lunAtic blinded them to oblivion. He just saved this round for his team. That one flashbang might have been the MVP of this round.
Oh, sure, is so well defended here. I don't know how you break these crossfires.
Should be a tough ask. Helps if you dink someone right off the rip. Less so. If they still get the last laugh. A timely flash from lunAtic, and what could have been disaster swings on its head.
They look dead to rights. Absolutely dead to rights. The second player, I'm not sure who it was from ECSTATIC, but first man in is so far ahead of his teammates. He needs a player behind the half wall, playing anti-flash, ready to swing. It's quite an obvious play. All of these guys have played enough Inferno to see those sort of moves. Timeout in for ECSTATIC as they discuss the economic woes. They are actually in double eco territory if they wanted to force up. They could eco here, and worst case scenario is a Galil and Queenix and Salazar. And that feels like the way they want to go. Essentially nothing's been invested in. HONORIS making a heck of a game of this. There should be no world where they're not up to 11 with some good money in the bank after this.
Crashing down banana. We haven't necessarily seen this. They can take this hold and actually give it up. There we go. Okay, Reiko's gonna hold it. Been spam. It's just Glocks on the other side. They were hoping for some more aggression to maybe deliver them a rifle early.
All they're trying to do is bait nades. They'll probably start scurrying around in apartments soon. Try and pull some A nades. They've actually, I mean, of course, HONORIS, you can't blame them of being fearful for more buys. But had they known it's a full Glock eco, they would have sat on these nades a lot longer, I suspect.
I think after getting run down just 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, you're not risking anything.
You definitely not risking anything. Okay, pass. Taz getting run up on. He's gonna get 2. And at this range, his teammates should be very comfortable. Kraken, headshot. No, not gonna happen here. 2 rounds, all that separate these teams, but a bye is going to be coming up in the next. Presumably, it's not great, actually, for ECSTATIC. Not miraculous here, Alan.
Got a
2
bye.
players will be on towards Galil's.
See, Salazar's buying nades first, and then figuring out what he's going to pick up. He's got just enough for a Galil. There it is. It's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. T-side is much more forgiving in this sense. You have to make some short cuts. Round 25. ECSTATIC carried a pretty hefty lead into this T-side, especially after winning pistol and converting it. But HONORIS have fought back. Next few rounds are pivotal to set the pace. And in this one, HONORIS are ceding a lot of B control. They handed extra nades to Ryko because for a moment there, lunAtic was running into spawn. No, he's picking up the extra nades. Okay. Got an extra nade set here on B to play with.
GG. That's nice. Not devastating, but nice. And here's some counter utility coming through. That's well read. lunAtic coming up worse for the wear in that utility exchange. Pressure on. They're showing a lot, but they haven't shifted the rotations just yet. And not having seen much of a response, ECSTATIC are tempted to go for this.
I'm almost surprised it's not freebie for HONORIS, and they're going to go.
Here it is.
CT smoke down, Molly into pool. Ryko's out wide. He's all alone. He's all alone. And he fucking doesn't actually find one as his teammate. 1 for 1, 4 and 4 now in the after plant.
Tough. A tough one for lunAtic. Bomb down. He can't deny that. They've got enough money that they can maybe risk this without completely sabotaging the economy. So I don't think we're going to see the even number save that we got previously. But again, Taz is late into the rotation. They're a little bit slow onto this. Not a lot of util. Cabbi's just standing in the open, and the op will do him in. Oh, and through the box. Sammy tracks it. Knows his spots, knows his angles. Salazar 1. No more. All on this banana player who gets nothing done. 3 survive. That's a very strong retake for HONORIS.
Learn your mollies, boys and girls. That one onto Dark won the round. They were playing double Dark were the T side, and they had no nades left to respond with. The wall bang onto New Box is just salt in the wounds from Sammy, but I dare say the round would have been won anyway. One more smoke onto CT and ECSTATIC win that. Gives them so much more space to play with, but they didn't have any nades. Didn't have any nades by that late round situation. This one's just a half by Salazar. Clearly thinking about AWPs down the line. Is HONORIS gifted surely a perfect opportunity now to make this 13 apiece.
All right. That was either just a random trigger pull, or as soon as Cabbi saw the nade come through, he pulled the trigger. Either way, that's disgusting.
Did you see Sobol then nade the gun back to himself?
That's clever.
Yeah, he put it into mid to bring the AWP out of contention.
Like that. Love that. Great detail. But still, I think that's probably worthy of a desk pound out from Sammy.
This is still a scary round. We've got no nades on A.
Where'd all the utility go?
I think they panicked. They had an early mid smoke, of course, and then I guess they panicked after losing the 1 kill. They just thought, oh god, they might explode on pistols.
No mollies left.
ECSTATIC should be reading this. I mean, someone should be calling right now. There's still a set on B.
Here comes the cross smoke. Does that pull rotations? It pulling out the...
Oh, Mike, if they apps pop, there's nobody on site. There's nobody pit.
No.
They're playing double long.
This is going to be the app pop. That's absolutely what their play is. And now they've spotted the players in towards mid. Whoa, no damage out of it, but if they just go quick, there's very little that can be done. You can't deny the bomb plant. They're getting the kills, though. They had to do so. Now the round isn't in doubt at the very least. Bomb down, Manx is going to try and make a move. That was ambitious, but he's got it. 1 HP, though. 1 HP. Atomic damage would be nice, but he might actually just set up to bait off of his teammate to set up Kraken for 1 more kill, but the flank is coming back from Moto, and lunAtic should have these backs exposed. 1 found, 2 found. It's all over. A cleanup there. That got very frisky, Alan.
It's perfect cool. It's a real shame those 2 mid players from ECSTATIC Can't really stay alive. I mean, HONORIS were. It was given the setup, it was a good reaction just to instantly clear mid when they see the. They knew exactly what it was when the nades were coming over. It's quite obvious. It had to be an abs pop, and they just clear mid. They kill those two players without a lot of resistance. That was the moment where ECSTATIC could have turned, you know, I'd say a profitable half buy into a round win that wins them the entire series. But here we go. Guns are out. Round 27. As ECSTATIC sent 3 to the bottom of Banana at the start, trying to take is this CT side, and Salazar's ready to go. This man has been a monster over the last 3 days. And May's going to snake his way into Melbourne.
He's looking for it. He's gonna buy that plane ticket. This young 18-year-old prodigy. Looking to
Could
earn
even
some big...
visit Philippines on the way, maybe.
Maybe?
All the way back when they get the title.
It's not... They're not close. But they are closer.
Fairly en route.
I guess. Yeah. Kinda. The thing about Australia is it is so much further away from absolutely everything than you think it is. Like, even from the close things, Australia is far away from. It's just out there, man. Pacific be big.
Just ask Maui. He knows. 90 ping games, even to LA servers.
Mm-hmm. Molotov down. This hold looking good. Bomb dropped. The crossfire established. They know this player's here, but they're still not checking for it. Queenix focused on towards the site. This has just been devastating. Flashbangs relentless. They've got very, very little. Salazar, a kill to his name, but he's just going to try and back away and save. Wary of the flank. He doesn't have any interest in this. Wants the open in the next round, and that's... with a man advantage, that's a non-starter. Great read from Norris. Body's in the right place. Reaction in the right spot. Devastating for ECSTATIC.
Punished for a lack of mid pressure. They lean B very early after that initial entry. There's 3 in defense for HONORIS by the time they commit in. Samey's dumping nades all over the place. Riker might have rattled off some shots, but he never got a kill from up on Flowers, which is why he doesn't get checked. Big moment, big moment. And with the maximal loss bonus and the saved orb, ECSTATIC going to buy in again. HONORIS are doing it the hard way here on Inferno. 2 rounds from sending us to a decider. That will be Vertigo should we make it there. And they put in a hell of an effort to get this far on Inferno.
I see, really. A little bit of tag up damage. This might be a balcony explode, though. This is looking like a Halls pop. Presence in towards mid. It's going to come through. Player up on Balk. Samey on short. Could get awkward. But no, he's in the right place at the right time on the smoke fade. Got this read. Did he spot a hand? Oh, he did. They got the kill. Blinded up. Doesn't matter. Samey, that's a great connection. But now he's under so much pressure. Gets the mini pit player. Samey delivering kill after kill. Scope shot after scope shot. The op. Can't keep him alive forever. And Manx brings us into the 2v2. HONORIS don't want to waste any time. They're on the line. They're on the line, and Manx is out of here. He's got time to play with. He's got time to play with, and he knows it. So he is going to run towards B and try and get himself a 1v2.
He doesn't have a smoke for the cross, and they're going to beat him. At least to holding the cross.
They're going to separate up. Reiko has the flashes. There goes the flying shot, but Reiko, he's on the angle first. Manx couldn't bring that one through. Map point now found for HONORIS. One more of the next 2 needed. And the money without the bomb plant, it's not there for ECSTATIC. It's not there at all.
Samey deserves a raise after that round, doesn't he? What a hold. AWP against an abs pop is far from ideal. I got flashbacks. Remember the old Michael Ailey round? It's playing on old Inferno.
Yeah.
NIP, I think it was DreamHack Winter 2014 probably was the map. Can't remember who they were playing. That's what I got flashbacks to. Salazar taken down. HONORIS are warming up. They want a 3rd map.
Just a few moments away from it. Minute 30, potentially away. Early damage is punishing, and I mean, with how little utility there is for Ecstatic, right? They can't afford to respond, really. They want to hold on to this nade set as late as possible, so they're trying to draw some stuff out from HONORIS. But frankly, they just haven't gotten much. HONORIS are doing a great job of holding on to these.
Plenty of smokes for the T side, but not a lot of flashes or mollies. And they're grouping up all the numbers in towards mid. I think they're going to go straight into an A hit of some descriptions. Nades lined up. Here we go.
This is the exec. This is what they got. This is all they got to show us. Flashbang to push him off the angle. No, Sammy will strike once again. Nade to follow it. Now it's starting to get very bad graveyard player. Sobol's a little bit overextended, so he'll try and withdraw. Reset, regain. But one more bullet will do him in. Still good for one on the flash. And Sammy still on the angle. A massive advantage for his team. The bomb at his feet. Everything working in his favor. And now reinforcements on hand. Kraken alone can do no more. HONORIS 16-13. They did it the hard way. Apparently today is just comeback city. But we got another one coming back the other way. And we're going the distance. We're going to a third map. We couldn't end this qualifier without a fight here, Alan.
No, absolute grit towards the end on Inferno. HONORIS, they felt down and out to me after losing that second pistol and not getting the reset off. But they make it work. The CG side was very compelling. Sammy had some big rounds after a bit of a lackluster map overall. And Taz as well. Did Taz end up... He might have actually top fragged